Bruce, I think you deserve to take that with you. I was just wondering your assessment of the game. It felt like this was one of the most complete games you guys have had as a team this season. And I know this is a cliche thing, but a total 60-minute effort. Did you feel the same thing?
I did. I think our guys were committed to playing the right way all night. First period, we got out to an early lead. We got a couple of breaks around the net, but, we created them with some forechecks and some putting pucks in the right places and getting pucks to the net. And then we got ourselves in penalty trouble, right? So got to be careful with this team, but we played through it. It seems like, boy, everything that was close got called against us. So second intermission came at a good time for us to sort of reset, regroup. And I thought, every player that went over the boards in the third had the same common goal. And that was, we're going to play together. We're going to manage pucks. We're going to take advantage if there's a situation. We had ourselves a couple of odd man rushes, chances to extend the lead. We didn't give up much at our end. So that's winning hockey. And I thought we did a good job with that, and we're full value tonight.
Bruce, you just alluded to it, bouncing back from the penalties. How did you do that? How did you regain your focus after that? Because that could have been knocked you off your course.
Yeah, I mean, it's upsetting. You see younger guys. It's happened to us, against a veteran team tonight, against Pittsburgh a little bit. We've got some young guys in the lineup that aren't, not going to get the benefit of an extra nudge or push here or there. And, 5-on-3s, full 5-on-3s, those are tough, and especially against this team. So especially in a game that didn't feel like it had as much emotion maybe as some of the other ones we've had with them, where you're out, there's plenty of infractions, but at the end of the day, they were called. And I think, we addressed it in the room. Marshy and Bergie and those guys were, hey, listen, those are done. We've played well 5-on-5. Let's just, get back to that. And we kind of just moved on from it, I guess, is easiest way to put it.
Thank you.
Joe Haggerty.
Hey, Butchie. It feels like that was the first time you guys have won 2 in a row for a little while. Just how important is it to get out of the kind of win one, lose one sort of situation that you guys felt like you'd been in for a bit?
Well, obviously we want to string together wins like we did at the start of the year, but it's tough in this league. We've had some injuries at key positions to put guys in. So there's some growing pains in that regard. We went through a stretch without getting the 5-on-5 goals. They're starting to come now. So that obviously helps you win, not relying just on your special teams. So it feels good. I think we're certainly a team that's capable of it. But again, you're up against teams every night in our division that proverbial 4-point games, right? So there's a lot on the line. So I give credit to the opposition as well a lot of nights. And but here we are. It seems like lately we've, even the game we lost to Philly, it was, we had the lead and you lose in a shootout, those could go either way. So it does feel like we're playing good hockey, Hags, for the most part. And I think just the way we are, there's a lot of close games every night, and you just want to tilt it to your side. And we've been able to do that the last few nights and play well at the right times, and it has a lot to do with it.
Kevin Dupont.
Butch, you've been at this a long time. You've seen a full range of emotions for rookies. This kid, Swayman, seems extremely composed. Strike you the same?
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% accurate in that. Looks that way in the net, acts that way between periods, acts that way before games. Listen, you don't want to jump to, anything. It's two good hockey games, right? On the road. Again, goals that, no bad goals yet. All good shots that have beaten them. Made real high-end saves. Tracking pucks, I think, has been excellent so far. Washington's got some big bodies, and we got guys crowd around the front of the net, and he seems to be able to find those loose pucks and get himself reset in position. So, like what we've seen so far, puck play, I think, has been good. Tonight, I think there's a couple of times our D could have talked to him better. But so far, so good. So both young goaltenders, right, getting a look this year. You never know what you have, but they've done a real good job for us with, us missing Tuukka and Yarrow, who've done a great job for us over the years. So I guess for a coach, it's you feel very grateful that, no matter who you put in there, you got a chance to win. So good for Sway, and we'll keep moving forward, and hopefully keeps building his game. Because so far so good.
I thought it was an especially interesting test there where they score the 2 in 19 seconds. They're 5-on-3. A kid easily could have blown up there.
Yeah, I think he shouldn't have got upset because they were good shots.
Right.
But you're right. He could have started second guessing himself, right? That, hey, maybe I should have made those saves and I let the lead get away. And now what? And I just think he moves on. That's what it's appeared to me so far. You know, the other night, same thing. We had a 2-goal lead. They scored good goals where we broke down. You know, he just gets back in there and simply put, I think he just worries about making the next save, which is a great mentality to have at any position, but particularly a goaltender.
Thank you.
Bruce, your fourth line tonight, very a sharp game, especially from Sean and Chris, and then Anton gets the goal. What did you see from them, and just how did it help that they fall right in line? They're not chasing; they just fall right into the rhythm of the game.
Well, most of the guys we use Fluto down in the lineup in that role are better players when we have the lead, right? Most fourth liners are, because they're checkers by nature. They're good defenders. And when you're behind, they're usually typically not goal scorers. So they're not guys that you're relying on to get you back in. But a nice goal for Anton. He looked like a really good chance just before that. I know he was upset with himself. So he got a fortunate break, but he was in the right place at the right time. And I thought he was pursuing pucks well. Crowley skated well, attacked the net a couple times. Wags probably had more chances tonight than I've seen in a while for him. Fortunately, the puck wasn't cooperating with him. It seemed like it was bouncing at just the wrong time. But I thought they did a really good job. Penalty kill, we had a slew of them tonight. So they get more involved in the game and probably feel better about themselves there. We didn't chase matchups. So they're out against, if it's Ovechkin, that those are the matchups they have to, sort of grab hold of and take pride in. So I really like their game. Anton, he took a penalty. I don't know if he deserved the next one after that. Put us in a bit of a bind, but I'm not going to hold that against him. I thought he played very well too. So it was a good line. He adds some speed to that line, a little tenacity. Helps that he scored a goal. Anytime your fourth line does, you're usually in good shape. You get that secondary scoring. And tonight it was a bonus, and Lozon as well gets one. So some good stuff all around in that regard.
Bruce, given how much those shots from the point have been an area of emphasis for you guys, how encouraging was it for a guy like Lozon to get that shot through in the early going, get rewarded there?
Well, that's what we talked about the other night. It was asked a question, and those are the guys that don't have as much NHL experience on our roster, like the Lozons, the Boros. Those guys are still learning the game. Sinisha, when he was in here, Jack, they have to be able to make a certain amount of plays. They're gonna make some poor reads at times, or the wrong read. And we go through that with them, and that's just part of the learning curve. But to your point, it's good for him to get rewarded for that, because he's had a few blocked. I had one blocked after that came back at us, so we made the save. So he's got to put some of that behind him, but he also has to start having some success in those areas for him to grow his game and feel better about his game, right? So I think that's what I was alluding to the other night, that those guys, that the cleaner they can become as we go along here, I think the better it'll be for them mentally, not only for us on the ice, but for their own game. And, that's where the young guys progress in this league. The guys that can't get over those humps, they have a tougher time. So good for Lozy. Played hard tonight. I thought him and Cliffy back there battled really, really hard, had some tough assignments against bigger men, and did a terrific job for us.
Hey, Coach, just going back to Duke's questions on Swayman there, and just sort of his demeanor, so to speak. They've shown him a couple times after he makes a big save or he's tossing a puck over to a ref. He's smiling, he's laughing, just looks like he's having a great time out there. I'm wondering, it's kind of been a roller coaster for some of the young guys on D for you this season. They see that and how calm he is. Are they feeding off that, you think?
I think they would. I mean, if I was in that position, I would. If I knew the goalie back there was having a good time, ready to bail you out, because you're the last line of defense, other than the goaltender, obviously, when you're playing D, and so your mistakes get magnified. As a forward, you turn a puck over, usually the other team has to come longer way, and you got other layers there to help you out. So as a D, it's great to have a goalie, because then you're not talking about those mistakes as much, obviously, if they don't end up in your net. You kind of move past them a lot easier than if they're game changers. So yes, I think it absolutely does. have an effect on any young player when you see a guy back there that's ready to do his part and more to help you out and to get the game back on track.